Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Stormworks. Thankfully, the bug with the fuel tank has been resolved. And it has been done really quickly. So I'm really happy that the devs actually fixed this thing this fast. Because last time I checked, this fuel tank, it had 4 connectors all interconnecting. And every time I spawned in a new vehicle, well, it just respawned the fuel tank. And everything's starting to get clumped up together. Now, at the moment, do not have a mission, and I don't really mind that, because it allows me to just focus on some other stuff. We have 11 research points, and it's time to spend some of those. Since these islands have quite a lot of navigatable terrain, I'm gonna go for a car. I haven't actually built that many, so I'm not that great at it, but as long as I can keep something going that actually moves forward at a respectable pace, has the capability to potentially go off-roading where necessary and can transport some cargo, then I think we have enough capacity. So time to research land vehicles. And this actually coincides nicely with me going back to the base. It's our little shed over there. So that I can spend some time in the bed to speed things along. And hopefully get the parts researched and at the same time get a couple of new missions. One thing that I have found with the new islands is that for some reason the game keeps spawning in missions from the older, let's say, far away region. You keep getting missions where you need to transport people to or from an oil rig, retrieve stuff, and this is actually quite unusual, getting this mission this fast. I need to transport equipment to the mine, and that is really unfortunate because I need to do that. These transportation missions, that is going from my base, over here, to the mine, over there. That is what I was going to build a car for, because off-screen I have already had this mission pop up. But unfortunately, the mission is going to have to get done in 40 minutes, and my research for cars is going to get done in 50. So, unfortunately, I will not be able to complete this mission. Time to speed things along. Mission failed. At least we got the land vehicles completed. There is one more thing that I want, and that is the basic sensors. So I can get my linear speed sensor and actually find out how fast I'm going. Whether it's a car or a boat, doesn't matter. Transfer crew, I believe that's an older one. Yep, from the airport to the rig. So that's about 30 clicks out. What else do they have? There has to be more to do. Sensors is complete, perfect. I really hope that mine transportation mission pops up again. Retrieve oil rig part, that's another older mission. Transfer crew failed, yep. Transport rig inspectors, that's another older one. Come on, game, give me something local, something I haven't seen yet. Researching or retrieving a sunk research drone is not exactly one of those missions. Thankfully, the game doesn't actually dock you pay for missions that you have not completed. So I'm not actually losing anything by not doing these missions. Medevac injured fisher person. I believe that this is similar, the same mission. Yep, 30 kilometers out. Not doing that. Come on, what else do you have? I keep failing mission after mission. Not exactly the example that the Coast Guard would like to set. There we go. Deliver engineers to a wind turbine. Yep, that's an old mission. No, thank you. Retrieve a research drone. Stop losing your research drones then. This is something that I would like to see changed. Where you don't have to keep getting these missions which are in faraway places. So that you can sort of set a filter, or that the game somehow itself sets a filter and goes, okay, apparently you are too far away, and this would not be an opportune mission for you. Similarly, you might be able to set a filter yourself and say, hey, just ignore all the missions which are farther away than, let's say, 15 kilometers at a max. Because I think that in the Arctic, I've had that, 15 kilometers, and that was a plane crash. So something like that, sure, that's doable. I'd be willing to venture out for that. But right now, I'm on the new island, so I'm expecting new missions to pop up. And it's just not doing that. I'm getting all the old stuff. Lighthouse deliveries, medevacing people, transporting fishermen to new ships. It's all the same. We've seen it all before. Lost research swimmer. Yep, that's another one. Off the research base. I have no idea where the research base is. I just know that it's about 30 clicks out. Fast forward about a month, and I'm still in bed. There are still no missions that have popped up that I think I can actually perform, because they're all too far away. Now that did lead me to the thought that maybe it would be nice on these new islands to have something that is worth transporting. Just a sort of freight mission that does not give you any research points, but just maybe gives you some cash. Similar to what you can do on the regular area, where you can buy some oil and then transport it to the refinery. A mission like that would at the very least keep you busy, because I completed my first mission I think halfway January, and it is now halfway March, and I still have not popped up any new missions. There we go, there's a retrieve anchor, that's another older one. I need something actually worthy doing on this island. Deliver equipment to the power station. Again, not my area. This similar situation happened when the Arctic was released. And those missions, again, just... well, they kept popping up. Where, that case, it was even worse. Because the missions were about 100 kilometers away. So then, by contrast, the 30 kilometers that I'm being asked to travel right now is not as bad. But it's still not exactly what I want the game to give me. And I really hope that this new island, the Sawyer Islands, actually has more missions on them. Because it seems like at the moment it's just the old stuff. The devs did write in their update that they did add new missions. It said the new islands come with new missions. Well, I kind of doubt that. Because they haven't popped up. Now, sure enough, it might be entirely possible that they haven't popped up because I don't have all the required items unlocked. I know that the game usually does not give you any particular missions which involve firefighting if you do not have the parts that you need. Anyway, we finally got a mission. And it is the same one as previous. It's getting to the beached fishing boat and getting the people back to the fishing village over here. It's the exact same mission. Guys, it's a little boring. Give me something else to do. I'm not entirely opposed to redoing the same mission and then potentially just driving out there with a car. But there has to be something else that I can do. Besides, these stranded fisher people, they're not really that stranded. They are just out there on their boats, and if they would make an effort and just walk for about 1 kilometer, they'd be home. But apparently that's a bit too much to ask for these fisher people. Delivering a large rig component, in case you're wondering, that too is a mission from the old area. Transfer a fisher person. Mission active, 35 clicks out. Seeing how few missions I'm getting, I'm actually wondering if this new campaign has any chance of survival. Because if I'm not getting any new missions, then what's the point? What's the point doing a series on trying to survive in this area or trying to get missions completed in this new terrain? Because if there's just nothing to do but, let's say, drive around and explore, well, that's not really what Stormworks is about for me. I want to have a challenge. I want to have something that I need to fix. Something I need to do. Something I need to build. For a reason other than, hey, it's just fun to build stuff. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. But there has to be something I can do. So I'm definitely going to be talking to the devs or requesting that they do something about this. Because this is just not interesting. I'm 3 months past my first mission. The only mission that I had reasonably pop up that I could do was the fisher people, the stranded ones, and the supplying of the mine. But I couldn't do the supplying of the mine because I couldn't get my boat to the mine. It is far too far away and it's just not interesting. So what I think the game needs at the moment is something that either generates more missions on the island. Ah, there we go. Transport equipment to the mine. There it finally is again. More missions on this island. Or give me something to transport. Now, what we need to transport over here is a whole bunch of crates. Like, a lot of them. Normally, if you want to resupply a power station, you only need to transport 3 crates. This delivering of equipment to the mine involves a hell of a lot more. We got seemingly a couple of barrels, a couple of boxes. Lots to do. And no way to transport it. So it's time to build a car. Now, I've been experimenting with cars quite a lot over the last couple of days. Trying to get them to work, trying to get them up to a reasonable speed, trying to make sure that they don't actually turn into a very power-hungry or fuel-hungry road hog. Just trying to find a delicate balance. And I think I might have a design that can work for this campaign. Now, I know that this is the train yard, but if you make sure that your vehicle is no wider than the entrance to the train yard, you can actually take it out. So that's what I'm going to do. Time to build a vehicle. Finally. I'm going to go with a pretty long one, because I need to be transporting quite a bit. And let's make it about this wide. I want the 5x5 wheels with suspension, because I think that the terrain on here might not always be too kind. I'm going to make this an 8-wheeler vehicle. Like that. So it's going to be a pretty long creation, and I can spawn it in right now, just to see what sort of scale you're looking at. This. This does, of course, mean that it has the potential to be quite power hungry. That's alright. That's alright, I can live with that. Now, I want my front wheels to be steering, I want my rear wheels to be steering, and I want my engine to be in the front. That's the plan. So let's make a little bit of room over here. This is where I'm going to have my radiators. So let's sort of start with the end in mind. And yes, I am going to go with 2 engines on this car. Now, it's not exactly a completely new design that I'm making, but it is mostly inspired on something that I have already at some point devised off screen. Let's see, I thought it was something like this. So you set that up close to the suspension, you add 2 engines. Then we have the coolant in and the coolant out, and I can, if I raise my radiators by just a little bit, I can immediately put the radiators connected to the coolants. Other way around. So we can pipe these things together, and that should immediately provide coolant to my engines. There, and there. Alright, so now the engine's cooled, and we have a front of the car. Then we have the fuel intake, the exhaust, and the air. I want my air to be in the middle here. So I'm going to make, let's say, 2 fuel or 2 air ports. Make it 3, just to round it up with the rest of them. Pipe these things. And these I want to be piping down the middle. Let's see, that is the fuel, correct? Yeah, that's the fuel and that's the exhausts. I'm going to reverse the engines. Just mirror them. There. Now I have my fuel over there and my exhaust over here. So I can pipe my exhaust down the back of the vehicle. Easier, that is. Alright, so this is the air. And actually, I can just pipe that right down the middle. So this goes up. And again, you don't really need this many, but I think it just makes the front of the vehicle look a little better. Pipe that back. Put another T-piece on here. And another pipe, and we're done. Alright, so that's the air intake. Now we have the exhaust and the fuel. I want my fuel tanks to be sitting in the middle of the vehicle. No real particular reason. Just, I have a bit of room over here. And with this, or maybe one higher, I still have enough ground clearance. If I set them up like this. See, I want that entry point to come up here. there. And I want the second one to be in a similar orientation. Like that. Alright, remove these blocks again. Now I can pipe these things together. So back to pipes. A couple standard ones. Maybe make it a little easier for myself by making, or by setting up the other fuel tank over here. Like that. Pipe that this way. That way. Then get a couple of straight pipes. Another T-splitter. Actually, no, I need a pipe cross for that. Then a couple of these. Then I can have my fluid port between the fuel tanks, so I know exactly where it is. Then we pipe this thing closer together. Another pipe cross to make sure that the other tank is also connected. And this then goes towards the middle, where we have the fuel coming in from both ends. Pipes. How do I want this? I'm going to use the enclosed pipes. I'm going to do that for the whole vehicle, come to think of it. Usually I just sort of spitball a vehicle first, and then I end up with the finish a bit later. Okay, I can actually use the bottom of the vehicle, but only moderately so. Because I still need to do my main drive shaft. That is rather important on a vehicle like this. Where do you want your drive shaft, and which wheels particularly are you going to be providing with power? If you provide the wrong ones with power, the vehicle could end up really just not starting, because it is providing, or is asking, so much torque that it just doesn't do anything. Alright, a couple of straight pipes here. And here. And then the angled pipes. And the angled pipes. Connected. Connected. Alright, so now we have fuel. We have coolant. We have air intake. We just need to get rid of our air exhaust. And, of course, you need to be setting up the gearboxes. And making sure that the vehicle can actually move. The wheels that I want to be providing with power are the ones in the back. These. That's the plan. So I'm going to remove the pipes here, or the standard blocks. Go with a couple of straight pipes. Then set up in the back a T-piece. Pipe that towards the front. Here set up a cross, so that I have them all connected. This one. And down here, I can now set up gearboxes and other requirements, like a clutch. Ideally, you want to have a clutch on your car to make sure that if you are switching gears, the engine doesn't quite immediately stall. I've had that happen, and it is just a bit of a hassle to try and fix that situation. It's not impossible, it's just a little harder than you would ideally want it to be. So I'm going to go with a clutch. And make sure that point A is pointing towards the part that you want to get your power from. And point B, so the other side, is pointing to where you want the power to go. So that's the back. Alright, now then, gearboxes. I can put these on the undercarriage of the vehicle. I'm going to go with one gearbox, which, as opposed to what I normally do on vehicles, is pointing towards the engine. Whereas normally I would be, or actually, it's pointing towards the part which needs propulsion. Because these wheels are pretty power hungry and the whole vehicle needs to start moving first. So I need a bit more torque. That's why I'm going to set up a standard 3:2 ratio. And then see if it goes. And then set up another gearbox. And this one is going to be pointing at the engine in case I have enough speed. And I can then start to speed up. Then we have the other pipes. And the engines are providing power here. We're going to pipe that down. And that goes all the way over the middle of the vehicle. So these things are going to come down one more block. They're going to angle. They're going to meet up in the middle. So it's time for another T-piece. And then I can just pipe it all the way back like that, and it is connected. One thing I do not yet have, which is rather important, are generators. At the moment, I'm not generating any power, so that if my battery at some point dies, I don't have the capability of regenerating that power. So 2 generators in the back, after a gearbox, should allow it to always be generating power, if it is giving clutch. I also want 1, or actually maybe 2 over here. So pipes. That is, if I can afford them, because they are rather pricey. That's 600 a pop. Then again, I hope that this mission is going to give me a lot of cash, because I'm already losing quite a bit on over here. Okay, so now we have power to the rear wheels. I changed my mind. I want to steer on the front wheels. Oh, crap. With this pipe over here, this wheel cannot very much turn. So I guess we're going to have to do this over here. Just move the wheels up 1 tile. Now it's 1 block too wide. I don't know if that thing's going to steer properly. It might not. If it doesn't, then we're going to turn the wheel into the vehicle itself, and it probably won't turn too well. Alternatively, I could use the steering on the front and the rear wheels. Tricky. Tricky. There is one other option. That's putting all the wheels down 1 block. And I know that I need to fix my propulsion then. But if I were to do it like this, that might just fix the situation. Yeah, now I'm not impacting the car anymore. Alright, we're going to stick with that. But that does mean that these need to be adjusted a little. Because now I need to make sure that my wheels are in fact getting power. So that was the rear wheels. Angle pipe goes up, off to the side, and gets connected with a T-piece. There. Same here. We're going to go up. And we're going to go in. Sort of. There. Alright, that should do the wheels. Let's see how it looks if it spawns in. Oh, it's getting dark. Alright, pretty sizable vehicle. But then again, I'm going to need to transport a hell of a lot of cargo. So we have quite a bit of work to do in the form of adding a flatbed. Some sort of cargo capacity. So let's start working on that. Now, if at some point you find that the car just does not have enough cargo capacity, you can always decide to make a connector here and create another car which is unpowered that you just drag along using a connector. And that would work perfectly fine. There is one more thing that I want to do, and that is, if I have room for it, and I think I do, pipe my exhaust all the way back. And I could do that over here, but that would make the vehicle a little taller. Still, I think that that is really the only proper way to do it. I don't quite like it, but I don't really have too many options. I just pipe it like that. Pipe it down. Correction, start with combining these. TP's down. Down, down, and start going backwards. All the way back. And as quickly as I can, I want it to go down again. Down, back. I'm going to take it off of mirror mode. And just try to get it inside the flat bat. To make sure that I don't accidentally waste any cargo capacity here. So down. Back. Down the side. To the rear. Like that. And remove the rear. Give me another T-piece up here. Then an angled pipe. Going up. An angled pipe up here. And a couple like that. My flatbed doesn't even need to be too big. The main point is that it can carry the cargo. So it doesn't need to be too tall, is what I was trying to say. I think it might need to be a little taller than this, though. Let's go for one more line. I really don't think that this is big enough. Considering that everything I need to carry, that might not be enough. I could extend it further over the wheels, though. But these suspensions come up quite a bit, I have found. So if I do it like this, that might be better. So it's going to be about that big. I would need to have a way to actually get into the flatbed as well. So let's put up a ladder here. Unfortunately, I don't really have any mechanical parts, so as much as I would like to make a flatbed with a rear that can open, I just can't. I don't have the technology yet. Now, you know what? I'm going to build a trailer. Just something that this car drags along. It's time to start working on the finish of the car. And the control of it. Now, could I have done this with a way smaller vehicle? Sure. Probably. But I want this to be a sort of frame that I can always use in the future. So that if there are missions which require more off-roading, let's say I need to start firefighting somewhere else, I can do that with this car. And I would just need to change the mission set for it. So I just change a couple of pieces, like add a water cannon, remove the flatbed, and then you're done. That's the plan. And that's why I'm building such a, I suppose, over-engineered vehicle. Which really isn't required, but then again, if you've ever played Stormworks, you know that this isn't required. Usually is not a very good argument. The argument is usually, we do this because we can. Not so much because we need to. Build a wheel well. Again, you don't need one, but I think it just looks a little better. And you can, if you want to, hide a couple of lights in there as well. Like that, and the same thing here. This one pipe I don't quite like. It might be protruding too much. Just hope not. No, I'm gonna go with this. It's just not gonna have to come up too much, hopefully. Is that enough? Yeah, I think that's enough. Alright, back. And then same thing here. I think I used... Oh, I used a whole 4 blocks there. That's a bit ambitious. Isn't 3 blocks enough? So having the wheel well end here. Like that. Now it's 3 blocks. If I want to do the same thing here, that would start here, go up here, 1, 2, 3 blocks, and down again. Like that. Oh, come to think of it, I still need to add batteries. So I'm going to add these in here, where they're not actually bothering anybody. I think we're actually starting to get to something that resembles a car. Even if it is still quite remote. One, 2, 3 blocks. One, 2, 3. And same thing here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks across. 1, 2, 3. And back. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Let's close this up. And yes, I am using a fairly excessive number of blocks compared to what you would really need. But whatever, it's Stormworks, let's go ham. I need a fluid pipe or a fluid connector. Close that up. This flat pad is really not going to be enough. I don't have access to railings yet, do I? No. What I do have access to are pipes. I could just use pipes. Let's see, how expensive is a pipe block? Oh, I still have a whole bunch of those in stock. I also have a whole bunch of these in stock, but let's just go with pipes. Just to create a sort of larger area where I can toss all those boxes in. One more. Just gonna create a sort of cage. Cage for transporting cargo. The exhausts are gonna go here. And then I'm gonna pipe these things together. Now these things are gonna come in handy. Or do we have any semi... Yep, this one. Like that. Change that up to a T-piece. No, not a T-piece, a pipe cross. Then the exhausts. And then a couple of straight pipes. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to do it. I think this ladder is going to have to get removed. Whoops, that's a bit much. Another one of these. Which sits like that. One more. Pipe. One of those. T-piece. And I think I might also need to make this a little smaller, because I think at the moment it's too wide. There's too much opportunity for this thing to start slipping away. I really don't want crates to be falling through the cracks. That needs to be a pipe cross. Exhaust. Pipes, standard pipe. Alright, so that's my transport cage, for lack of a better term. Now, get aboard. Find a way to get onto the vehicle. And I'm interfering with something. I'm interfering with my... my fuel pipe. If I can just change the direction that that thing is taking a little bit. It doesn't need to be too much. And I can put it off to the side and still have a ladder off on the other end. So like this. Then we have the fluid connector. Then my ladder. There you go. Oh, no, there you don't go. Here? Does it fit now? Really? Is it interfering with the wheel? Is that it? Why the hell can I not fit this here? Oh! It's not interfering with anything, it's just too wide. That's the problem. It is too wide. Because this is as wide as I can build the vehicle. That is the problem here. Alright, well that makes sense. Okay then. Now, time to build the cockpit or the driver's seat area. This is still going to take quite a bit of time. I'm going to cut the episode here. And in the next one we're going to continue building this vehicle. I guess it sort of resembles in the far, far distance a HEMTT. High expanded mobility tactical truck, which is what I sort of used as inspiration. But it is still going to take a lot more work to get this thing completed. So join me next time as we're going to be completing this vehicle, filling it up, taking it out for test drive, and then hopefully completing that mission in time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you soon for the next video.